And we know that Quraysh, they launched a unscrupulous propaganda war against Muhammad ﷺ to stop his message. They initiated a series of conspiracies against him. Why? To block, to prevent the message of La ilaha illallah. We know Abu Lahab and his wife, they spent their lives in unrelented rage, hatred, cruel plots and persecutions against her, Muhammad in particular, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Abu Lahab's wife, she would scatter thorns and kindle fire to prevent Muhammad sallam and his companions from nearing the Kaaba, or where they walked at night where they could not see it. They committed their entire lives in trying to harm Abu Lahab, his nephew, and prevent Islam from spreading. But if you look at the situation of what happened to them, the humiliating picture of Abu Lahab and his wife is recorded in the most authentic book on this earth to the end of time. And every single one who shows a similar attitude to Rasulullah ﷺ will face a similar disgrace. Who knows how Abu Lahab died? This man fought and fought and fought and fought and fought Muhammad ﷺ. Who knows how Abu Lahab died? Does anyone have a clue? Abu Lahab, just very brief, he was infected by a disease known as the black measles. That disease then was considered to be the most deadliest disease, even worse than the plague. Subhanallah, when he was suffering from this disease, his wealth, his assets, his family, his clan, his soldiers, his livestock, he owned. He was a very, very high profile in Quraysh. None of it could be of any avail. ما أغنى عنه ماله وما كسب. Not his wealth or anything that he earned or owned could be of any avail. Even his wife and his children, whom he always used to boast about, because the Arabs boast about their children, especially their male children in the past, they abandoned him in the hour of need. He was left in his house, on his own, on the bed, covered with what is known as festering pustule. What's a pustule? Very good. A pustule is like a pimple or sore that contains pus. What's a festering pustule? Very good. You're a walking dictionary or sitting dictionary. So he was covered with these sores, and they were only getting worse and worse and worse and worse. On his own, no one besides him. They were all disgusted, and they looked at him as being putrid and stench. They were afraid of being affected by it. Thus, after one whole week of writhing, squirming, twisting, in pain, on his own, no one helping him, he died. No one besides his bed. Now, no one wanted to bury him. Why not?
Contagious.
Because they were scared of being affected. They thought he was contagious. There was too, you can say, yucky. Touching their sores and not one of his relatives would go anywhere near that house. So much so that the smell became so strong that the relatives began to get embarrassed. So what did they do? They hired some Bedouins, some desert nomads. They didn't go themselves and do the dirty work, no. They hired some desert nomads and asked them to go and take his rotten corpse and dump it somewhere. So yes, the nomads came, took the corpse and placed it in a pit somewhere far from the village, and they just piled some rocks on him. They didn't bury him. See the death, this disgrace and humiliation that he suffered before his death. But that is just the start of it. That is just the start of it. So what we got to understand here is patience in the face of adversity. Never give up. When you are harmed, when there's some kind of problem confronting you, and you're doing your da'wah as a believer, with full servitude, understand that you never lay down your armory of Qur'an and Sunnah, ever. You continue and you continue even in the face of adversity.